Evening everyone, how are we doing? Welcome along 1174 Milton. Hope we're both well. So thought we'd have a bit of a change tonight. We come and have a clear up on the Arthur's Farm map here. Because I said we may abandon this series, but I've had no idea. I've just got to sort it out. So we are going to try and get rid of these sugar beet on here. Someone's got to be fighting fit, because I certainly aren't. So we are going to try and remove these sugar beet tonight on here. It's just too much to try and do in a video if I was going to do it that way. And I've found that GPS and this beet harvester can have interesting reactions to each other, shall we say. As you can see there. So at least another fast track on here just to help with this. Because the field's too big to get the harvester up and down. Extremely good 1174. It's been several years since I last went round there. General consensus is amongst everyone who went, it's nice to see a company with who are looking forwards at the moment and have confidence. Evening Dave, how are we doing? We're now putting a new manufacturing building up at Bunnings where we were last night, and I don't know if he says 1.3 acres or 1.8 acres. I'm not too bad, thanks. £7 million investment in the company, which for a small, or what would be termed as a small family firm, that's a considerable show of confidence, I think. So see how we get on tonight. I have a feeling it's going to be an incredibly quiet stream. So we'll see how long we go for. Just have this feeling that it could be quiet for some strange reason. I've had one trailer full off here, we took that one and sold it just to get going. It is, unfortunately. So I hope that there's some people out there who do not want to have a look at the new DLC yet, who are more than welcome in this one. So I certainly haven't got early access to it. We should have to wait like everyone else. So I'm trying to avoid watching too much of it. Trying to avoid too many videos. I haven't even watched a single video on the DLC yet today. That's the way I'm planning on keeping it. So how have we all been spending our Friday then? It's not been a bad day today down here. A couple of heavy showers. One incredibly heavy shower this evening with the thunder thrown in, but that's about it. Having a few issues with Marwell at the moment. That seems to settle down now, but that was very jumpy when I came on here first. It's the first time I've played on it since the game updated. No wonder you're ragey tonight, Milton. Twice in town in one day. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but this is as close as I can zoom into that harvester. Which one's the Hydra Dig 1174? Just remind me on that. Well, obviously, Milton. You gotta keep the pigs fed. Get ahead for the weekend, I guess, David. Is that it? Is I'm ready? To me, any time playing on a digger is fun. So it's just too much to do this sugar beet and early video for this series, so I thought we'll have a break for the MP. We'll get this beet knocked out on here tonight with this Ruber. And just have a generally relaxed stream. Yeah, I can remember when I used to work with the livestock on the farm, David. We'd usually on a Friday afternoon I'd get all the straw bales lined out ready for the Saturday morning if I was doing it. Just get everything positioned in the yard ready. Might even get this net wrap cut on the straw bales. So all I've got to do in the Saturday is back up to him, shove them in the blower and blast them in. True, Milton. I like playing on the bigger ones. Mini diggers are fine, but I prefer something like a 13-ton Hitachi. That's much more fun to play on. Get bigger holes with them, cause more damage. How long will that 10-ton keep them going for? So I've never had much to do with pigs. Are you sure about that, Milton? Considering what you've done with the lawnmower, I'm not sure a 45 horsepower tractor would be safe with you. Well, that's not too bad then, David. Keep going that length of time. This field is just a little bit too long to do a full round on. Hey Barn Lodge, how are we doing? I see, truth comes out now, doesn't it, Milton? Oh, that'll be interesting for you then, Barn Lodge. Can't remember where you said you were going now. Or if you said it. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mike, when I set this up months ago on this series. Saves so much work and time, especially the size this field is on here. Welcome along. If that had been a small field, I wouldn't have minded. Fingers crossed, Dave, because the weather does look a lot better for the next week. Oh, that'll be fun for you. As I say, I don't fully agree with what's in that NPTC schedule, but it's worth having. It doesn't teach you for the real world as far as I'm concerned, to teach you what a book wants. I know as training instructors we've got to teach you what the book wants, but you do need some real world stuff in there. Something other than rice, I presume, Mike. I mean, we had a torrential thunderstorm here about 4:45 tonight. Things are just starting to dry out again. Hey Brad, how are we doing? Hey Brendan, I'm good, thanks, how's you? So for those coming in, you see we're not doing the MP tonight. I had a change of plan. About 6 o'clock. Hey, lurking is good. I have seen it, Brad, but I'm trying to avoid all contact with it at the moment, because I haven't got early access to it. I'm trying to avoid looking at too much until I get it on next week. So I'll watch the Giants trailers for it, and that's about all I'm going to watch, I think, for now. Form my own opinions of it. Have it spoiled by other channels. So I should be avoiding much content of that over the weekend. Good luck to anyone who has got early access for it, but I shall not be watching. Thanks Brad, much appreciated. Please do. Good idea, Milton. I've got a busy weekend ahead, so you won't be seeing anything from me during the days at the weekend. I'm not a big enough channel, Mike, that's the problem. They like big channels, I'm only a small one. Besides, if they watch some of my mod reviews, they're probably terrified of what I might say about it. It was drying up here nicely, barn lodge, this afternoon whilst I was up the allotment, but that rain we got at 4:45 put pay to that how it came down. I try my best, mate, try and keep it as realistic as we used to do within the realms of the game. I know there's other channels out there what used to be involved with farming, but not as actively involved as what I was in some cases. It's a polytunnel, David. Got the foundation tubes in this afternoon, and going to be putting the hoops up over the weekend. I've got to dig the trench then. Oh, you wouldn't want to have been out in that hair when that came down. The fast tracks are nice, Brad, what they got in 19. What do you mean by socials, Mike? Probably being thick hair, which is unusual. Well, not unusual. I've got Facebook, if that's what you mean. It should be going around in chat somewhere by Nightbot. Yeah, it does, Bren. The reason I'm trying to get this cleared up on here tonight is so I can get this save game transferred across to the Seasons version. I've also got 4 fields of canola on here what need harvesting. I have a plan for that. I think Arthur might be getting a new combine, so I'll leave that, guys, up to you to work out what's going to go on there. So I think it's exclamation FB should bring Facebook feed up in chat. I can't remember, that's mods only. No, definitely not, Brendan. Definitely not class. Yeah, there's a few about this way, Brad. So, last night I was at GT Bunning and Sons for a machinery club meeting, which was a good night. Evening, Thomas, how are we doing? I'm good, thanks. I have to empty both these trailers out this time. Not quite sure why I'm having so much trouble with the GPS with this beet harvester. I couldn't set the A to B lines how I would do anything else. I had to do it through the HUDs, this time with a mouse. I'm not a fan of safety boots in that respect, the welly type ones. They tend to split too easily as my findings with them. I do like my nut boots though for up the allotment. Okay, Milton. Managed to get some cheap from a clearance sale, and there's some really comfy boots. But you love school, Thomas, we know you do. There's a nice little freeze. Thought the game was going to crash then for a minute. Just not running very smoothly at the minute. I'm not sure why. It's only since the update happened, because this map used to run perfectly fine. Trying to, David. Trying to. Those mouses are horrendous things to play behind. Just hate playing behind where they've been. Sort of playing off the surface and make it shiny and slippery. Create a hell of a pan. On Marwell at the minute, Thomas. Pre-seasons version. Just try to get it finished off, ready to switch to seasons. So I do like this map. We'll be having a look at the class detail, equipment in more detail next week once it's out. I'll do a few videos on that. Yeah, there was an element of that to it, I think, Mike, but I think that Oakfield is the worst one of the two for that sort of thing, to be honest. Oakfield's the one for me that feels rushed just because people wanted it, that was got out. Rightly or wrongly. Here are some of the things that myself and Nathan found on there. So just point that heap up with the harvester. That's why I haven't looked at those trikes, because I know which tractor they're based on and they weren't good the first time round. We have a mod review going out tomorrow on the John Deere though again, but this one's got a sting in the tail. Welcome back, Milton. I think you're sort of right there, partially, Mike. Meadowgrove is still one of my favourites. Certainly looking forward to the update once Nathan finally gets there. Good luck. Problem is with maths at the minute, they've gone too far away from basics with it, as far as I'm concerned. I struggle with younger trainees on spray courses with basic maths. Well, that's not very good if you've got to show them how to drive them. Should be the instructor doing that. Yeah, I'm hoping he's sorted it with the update, because there's a few problems with the original one. Like this sugar beet field would have the planted potato texture on it as we're harvesting it. There's some texture issues with it. Probably what the curriculum says they've got to teach you, I'd imagine, Thomas. When it comes to the sort of maths I teach with spraying and that sort of thing, it's simple stuff, but it just seems to confuse so many people. It's real basic maths. Multiplication and division. Exactly, Milton. Far too advanced. Just think, if this was real life at the minute round this way, we'd be seeing this beet harvestering up to the wheel rims in places. Problem is with everything these days, education, they try to group everyone into the same groups with it, instead of letting people just be as they should be. I think you're right there, Milton. What I don't get with this is, on here, when we've done per farming, we've had these camera screens working in the machinery on there. Why could Giants not get them working in here? Oh yes, 1174, we heard that many times as well. True, Mike, very true. That's why I get an accountant to do mine. I also think if the accountant does that, I'm less likely to get an inspection. Just hand draw my spreadsheets and let them deal with it. Hey Martin, how are we doing? I'm okay, thanks. I was in the third set for maths, but I was quite good at it. It just suited the speed I want to do things at. I know I could have done top set, but I was more happy going at my speed, and I was never going to put in more work than I was absolutely necessary for it. Better things to do than sit doing hours and hours of homework. Everyone's got their own individual pace they want to learn at, as far as I'm concerned. It's best not to try and work out why schools do what they do sometimes. I've just seen your PM, Milton. I've just seen it come up on my phone as well. I'd still like to see more sugar beet machinery in game myself. More trialled machinery. Tim, Thorogod harvesters, Garford stuff. Eden Hall, just some other stuff. Hey Farm Life. Yeah, I think YouTube is having a moment. Matches Discord today, because that's been having a moment all day. Careful what you put, Barn Lodge, or how you rephrase that one if you're going to retype it, otherwise Nightbot will get you. Yes, it would, Dave. The farm I used to work for had a 6-row one. And a New Holland 7840. An all hydro one. 6-row Victor. There aren't many of them about. Still an awful lot of Tims around this way. Good sized heap down there now anyway. I never got to see this one working close up either, because when they were lifting sugar beet they'd palm me out to a potato harvesting job with a trailer. Since been replaced with an Agrifac. Was now in the second Agrifac since they had it. The third 6-row since they had the trialled one. They kept the trialled one for 1 year while they had the Klein 6-row, then they bought a small Agrifac 6-row. And for last year I think they bought another Agrifac, a newer one. Just the little baby tricycle type ones. There's quite a bit of sugar beet lift still going on Farm Life. Probably not a crop you're too familiar with where you are, but it does help to keep the ground dry with the beet growing in it. Oh yes, even in this weather. You'd be surprised how well a beet field will travel still. Hey SG, how are we doing? Well, it keeps you amused anyway, I'm still doing maths on it. They do, Milton, is getting them off the field what tends to wreck the land drainage. This is potatoes, Farmer Dodd. That'll be a good one for you to see. Although the ropers are sold in Norfolk, there aren't actually too many locally here. I haven't, Nathaniel. I'm trying to keep away from it until I get my hands on it myself. I don't have early access, so I'm trying to just avoid much contact with it at the moment. Quite like the Pumas, Farmer Dodd. Certainly do, David. No, I don't hate class at all. I'm just not going to look at other people's opinions of the DLC until I can form my own of it. Not surprised, farm life. Fields do get wet with that stuff growing on them. I can though, Milton. I wish it's easier to put this into harvest mode on here. So I do like the harvest mode function of this. Because this is how the thing would be working. The trouble is it's incredibly hard to stay around the ends within this mode. Hi, Farmer Dodd. Certainly am, farm life. Feels just a little bit too long to get a full round on the harvester on this stuff. I can get about halfway down again. Steady on, SG, you actually doing some work? That's just scary. They take them straight off the heaps onto the factory when the permits come through. Farm life. The whole point of the mouse is that you, or mouse lure, is you can put the heaps on the field edge and not need a trailer on some fields. Steady on. So what are you actually going to be doing for work next week? Biggest heap we ever had on the farm was 350 metres long and one trailer full wide all the way down. SG is going to be working in McDonald's, ain't he? That's what it is. This could be, or is he going to be a till lady at Tesco's? I know what it is. He's going to be the pumpkin mascot for Halloween store. Except they haven't got to use any makeup for him because he's ugly enough. Yes, SG? He's starting an Addams Family tribute act for Halloween, that's what it is. You think he's the chief turnip, Milton? Yeah, they've recruited local, haven't they, Milton? Saves a lot of makeup being used. I heard when he went for an interview they asked him to take his mask off and he told them it wasn't one, that was his natural face. It's because it doesn't matter if you come into my stream or GD stream, you'll get the same amount of boost, SG. You know that. True, Mill. Very true. I'm hazarding a guess that YouTube announcements haven't gone out at all tonight for some strange reason. And that's what I thought. YouTube's had a moment. Catching you up now, SG. Not far behind you now. Said it wouldn't be long. That number in the top right corner of the screen is what's catching you up. Have another look through the mod sites over the weekend, see what else I can find to do a review on. I was surprised when I came across those Mikhail mowers last night. Very true, SG, I can actually be bothered to do something. SG only comes into my streams for the amount of boost I give him. Sure how much longer we'll keep going for tonight, but we'll see. It has its moments, SG, let's put it that way. I would certainly, if I could put out mod reviews every day, I would do them instead of ordinary videos. Quite sure I'm going to do the class DLC next week. Thinking of breaking it down into various review videos for each bit. I don't know what you guys would like to see done. Tractors in one, combiners in another, and so on. I think I'll do each vehicle separately somehow. Could be there too long. I haven't had much to do with the newer class tractors in real life. I did have a Acer 950 on demo for 2 days a couple of years back. Ah, so you are scaring people, SG. See, we were right, he doesn't need makeup, he's just going to leap out and scare people. Have you actually driven their tractors, Farm Life? Or are you going off what other people say? See, one and only reason that they didn't buy that 950 was the price. Everything else about it stacked up perfectly. I'd say it's more down to the dealer you've got in your area than anything, because the one up there is pretty good. We were Milton, you see. He's just afraid to admit it to us. He doesn't like telling us we're right. Well, no dealer will recover a burnt out loader. That's an insurance job. Yeah, I'd rather you didn't bother, Farm Life. Please don't do that again. Probably just get this long bit finished tonight, I should imagine. Hi Tom, how are you doing? Certainly didn't, Tom. Too small. I'm not big enough for them to worry about giving that sort of thing to. At the moment. It's usually anyone above 10,000 subscribers who gets that sort of thing. Aren't even at 1,000 yet. No, I can see why they do it, but I know where you're coming from with that one as well. It would be nice if everyone got it at the same time in that respect. They do need to do some promotion. It's all good business sense. Got to drum up a bit of interest in it. Well, there is that to it as well, I guess. Promotion of the DLC, I would say, was the main aspect of it. I shall keep avoiding anything to do with it at the moment until next week, as best as possible. You should just get down this end alright. Next time we get up the top there, we'll have to go and empty them two trailers again. True. You could do that. They haven't exactly been overly pushing that in some respects. Certain channels 1174. Not all of them, but there are some which are bad for it. I know which ones I mean by that. You should know better than that, Farm Life, by now. Especially that particular one. I know you didn't. I know you didn't mean it that way. I'm admin over there, so I know exactly what happens when that does that. We've done about half the area so far. There, hard to say. I don't know who they picked where or anything. I know which the channels I used to watch have got it. Some of the ones that I watch. And we know the usual suspects: Landy, Dave, VF, got it, Dagwin and Co. Hi IRT, how are we doing? And obviously on console, Mr. CDP has got it for obvious reasons. I'm okay, thanks. I'm still toying with the idea of doing some console stuff on the channel. Warm the PS4 into the PC. Capture card. Still an option for the channel. Yeah, I'm an ex-PS4 player, Farm Life. I've only been on PC 18 months. I first played FS17 on console, so I've got one under the desk here. So all I need to actually get it all to work is a capture card. No, I haven't got Xbox. When I got the PS4, most of my friends on PS4, that's why I got that. Turned out to be bought at the right time, so I was quite ill for the first couple of weeks I had that, so it kept me out of trouble. I was playing at 3 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep due to how ill I was. I can, William, but I want to use my software to do it. All my overlays and streaming software. Where I can stream straight to YouTube, that's easier for me to use my existing setup. So obviously I can't stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time using the PS4, so I've got to put it through Restream. It is farm life. My edited version of Marwell that I've done for the Arthur's Farm series. It's not as it left Oxy's desktop. Got extra hedges in and gates and things on here to what he had. Which is why it's a bit more difficult for me to put this onto a season series. So I've got to put all that hedging back in around the farm down there and the gates and everything. I need a couple of hours just to edit the map across to get it to match this version. So obviously all that hedge around the farmyard there isn't there on the standard version. Hey GT Farming, how are we doing? No, I don't, Tom. I just run it as standard. And that's something me and Milton have talked about putting on the server, that one. That's about as far as it's got at the moment. At least this map has settled down a bit now. Oh, that's not good, GT. What card have you got at the moment? Ah, might be time for an upgrade then. Yourself a bigger card if you can justify it. Hey Formal, not a problem. I'll leave the link up for a little while. So it's still got that chunk of beet there yet. If you're looking at a 1070 or 1080, you can get a 2070 for the same price. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about water on the server at the minute. Milton knows what's going on. Can't remember what I paid for my 2070 now. In what respect, GT? I think it's best I don't start on that Tesco's advert, Reggie. I think you'll probably work out what my opinion of it is, as I come from farming background. I have, Tom, I have put that on here. Haven't tried using it yet, though. We might take a load up there. Don't see why you'd need to upgrade the motherboard. As for PSU, what size one have you got currently? Because if you think the 1070 or 2070 draws exactly the same sort of power requirements as that. .500 watt will do that, okay. My 2070 needs a 450 watt. What I've got. We certainly do not need a Voltraton. I mean, a 2060 would be a fair upgrade for you for a 1050. Yeah, saying the word vulture is like playing roulette with Nightbot at the moment. He's either going to time you out for it or not. Yeah, that'll handle it. I mean, the 1660 is quite a good little graphics card as well. I know a couple of my regulars have got them fitted. And Jeremy has, who comes in here. He gets on quite well with it, I think. I also know what CPU that one has got. You're on the old AMD ones, are you? 8350 was a good one. And I'm on Ryzen 7 2700X and RTX 2070 and 32GB of RAM. Still got to try and get my RAM sorted because that's not running at its full potential at the moment. It's only run at 2133 and that's 3200 RAM. Motherboard keeps having a hissy fit if I try and up it, crashing the PC. Might see if I can get the guys at the computer shop to have a dabble in there again, see if they can tweak it up to its full power. That ran for a month at 3200 alright, and the PC started crashing. So I put it back down to bog standard, rather than risk frying a new computer. They are actually not a bad tractor, to be fair, Tom. The newer ones, it's the older ones I had a problem with. I don't think you have any regrets whatsoever at going Ryzen GT. In my first gaming PC was a Ryzen 3 1200. I then put a Ryzen 7 1700 on that motherboard, which Jeremy now has. He bought that off me. And this one, when I completely built this spring, as well, the beast rig, to be fair. If you look around at the right places, you can usually find stuff at a good price. No, I mean the early Vultra T series tractors, Tom. Not a fan of that one. I had it on demo. Valmets I had no problem with. Yeah, the early teas, where some idiot thought it'd be a good idea to put a window closing handle down the middle of the back window in your line of vision all day. That's the one, Farm Life. It won't exactly style very well, whereas I do actually quite like the look of the newer T-Series. We've got quite a few of them around this way. Get a bit further west there, there's several of them. Not a surprise for them. Now you're talking, Tom. Auto command or power command? Hoping once we get over in that little bit of that side, we might be able to go all the way around without emptying down the bottom here. What, 7530 Farm Life? They did 1174. The Valmets were a good tractor. So we had 8100 where I used to work. We had someone with a little 6850 used to lift our sugar beet, the 2-row tanker machine. Oh, I thought you meant the John Deere there. I know how much you love those tractors. Alright, let's split this block now. Bang a split through the middle of this. Potatoes. Yeah, there is that with John Deere. Unfortunately, you pay for the name. I was looking at 2 John Deere green spreaders last night at Bunnings when I was there. Got the green one, several blue ones, and even a silver one in the fitting shop. Yeah. when you order a spreader from Bunnings, you can have it in any colour you like. They had a silver one in there for Holland. That was going to. First time I've seen one of those spreaders in silver. If you actually went to him and said you want it in purple, you get it in purple, I'd imagine. Told us last night they'd done 320 spreaders last year. They've already done 260 this year. That's all they make now, besides the other side of the company. That does pallet handling equipment. Now you're talking, Tom. When them tractors come out, Ford had a hell of a job to sell them. Roll forwards to nearly 30 years though, and they're worth a lot of money. You haven't heard of GT Bunning muck spreaders? Interesting. They're the ones who supplied the one for Top Gear. Yeah, well, I went round their factory last night. This is sort of 4 miles from me. Yeah, muck spreaders do tend to end up that way, don't they? Not too many of them about either. Though you think of one New Holland telehandler within sort of 15-20 miles of here. JCBs though, I could throw a stick and hit one. Sort of the surrounding area here we've got, someone's got a Kramer, John Deere, JCB, good selection there. You don't see many of them, Tom. Okay, catch later, farm life. Ah, still don't see many on the boat. Sadly have 1174. That's why I thought we'd do it as a live stream. I mean, it's now taking us an hour and a half to do this. That's a lot of video to record and edit. No, Tom, just no. Not yet, anyway. Need to be on the seasons updated map, I think, before I could consider that. Potatoes, well, we'll see. The jury's still out on whether to continue this Arthur's Farm series into the seasons map. Not sure whether to or not currently. Whichever way, I just want to get this rounded up on here and to a point where it could be finished if necessary. I've done cotton once in a video and it completely flopped, so you won't see many of them. That's before the John Deere came out. Just not something that does well on a UK channel as far as I can make out. At the end of the day, the biggest part of my subscribers are European based. We just don't see cotton. The same way sugar beet harvested videos don't do it so well. We've planted poplars, but we never got round to harvesting them on that Dutch map I done. Because the update, the updated patch kind of wrecked the map. Could do, Tom, could do. That series isn't exactly doing very well either. I know 6 or 7 episodes in, but it's not doing well. Not at the moment, 1174. I've still got the save game, but I haven't done anything on it. Just try to work out what to do for the next week at the moment. Which you want us to record from. I do like that Geisenberg map, but it just isn't very popular on the channel. I enjoy playing it, but it ain't doing well. There's Metagroove, always does well, it seems. I am Tom. Luna because of Seasons Let's Play I'm doing on there. Case equipment. I knew most people use John Deere, so I went case. This is why I'm looking forward to getting rid of seasons, all these squares if I carry on with this. It's a pain in the what's up. Having them everywhere. And the crop hasn't germinated all at the same time. Oh, well, that's much appreciated, Lem74. I do have myself a little friend on the channel at the moment, it seems. Too much left on this field now. Alright. 3 more widths in there, 4 more widths. Really need to go through some of my old photos and find the photos of my old Magnum. I was playing with the 7 furrow with that. I just wish back in those days we'd had more recording stuff like we've got now. So I've had some great videos of that thing at work. That thing is an absolute animal. I'm enjoying it more in 19 than I did in 17, to be honest. What it was in 17 that just came out at the wrong time for me, or what it was, but I couldn't get into it, but I seemed to get a bit more into it at 19. Okay, catch you later, Tom. one more round in there. We'll get this field finished tonight and that'll do us, I think. Mission accomplished for what we set out at the start of the stream. How many hundreds of thousands of litres of sugar beet we've got down the bottom there though. Good job I didn't put this whole field down to sugar beet, we'd have been here for a little while. We've all got different things we like playing and don't like playing with the various maps. Incredibly dull if we all like the same thing, won't it? Just fill the tank up a bit more. Now law folds I did play quite a bit on myself on console. I did like law folds. It was on console, was it on PC I played on a lot, I can't remember now. For some reason, though it's a Scottish map, it reminded me of Norfolk. I think VF has said the same thing about it. Map I did enjoy playing on. I don't know whether anyone's got any plans to convert it across. Just really nice map, had a nice feel to it. Maybe we need to do a law folds revisited. Video stream, something. And one more tank full after this will do us. That field's annoying me how that germinated on there. got to put my XML files back in. The good news is that it doesn't seem to mess with my textures. The update. There was Milton. Law folds. I was one of the weird ones who liked drum hard as well in 17. So I know a lot of people hated that map. I spent hours on that on console. Yeah, it took some getting used to, David. Certainly. Mainly because of its size and layout. I remember doing a potato harvesting contract on there on the field behind the shop. That was a long one. Sugar beet one around that way somewhere as well. That was a big contract. I'm not getting any too much stutter problem or FPS problems on here. So ready to start with after the update. FPS wise, I'm not too unhappy with that. I've got steady 60 on here. Yeah, I think my most played in 17 would be Cobra. Without a doubt. Cobra, then the West Coast. And probably Oakfield. Yeah, 2070 is what I've got in here. In some maps I can hit 250, 300 on in places if I unlock it. I just don't see the point in running it unlocked. And other maps have an awful job with. No, there is that 1174, but he's happy, and you can't blame him. Some of the things he had to deal with were what people like towards him. What he said since. I don't blame him one bit for wanting to give up. And if you can't get on with the game, well, it's pointless making mods for it. Keep meaning to have another crack at doing a map, but it's just finding the time, especially my other little project at the moment in the real world. My man-sized Meccano kit I've been got to put together over the weekend. They do, as does Oxy's new map. He's knocked the ball out of the park with that one. I know, Milton. And I'm doing a trench cover on that, I'm not doing a base rail. Toying with the idea of hiring a micro digger to dig the trench at the moment, rather than using a spade. Get to have some fun then. Isn't that convenient for you, Milton? It's not the first time I've done a tunnel, but this is bigger than the last one. Get the hoops put together tomorrow and get the framework up is the plan. I've got all the foundation tubes in this afternoon. Foundation tubes square as well. That's the hard bit. So it's going to take us 2 hours to do this field, which is exactly why I didn't want to do it as a video. So it has to be edited down to about 20 minutes. Give you an idea how much time that would have taken. Seemed like a good idea at the time when I put these in the ground on here. And we're done. At last. Quite possibly. There were a few choice words this afternoon. Like when I was banging the foundation tube that hit a stone and went off course. Now I understand that, Milton, which has got to be frustrating for you in that respect. I did acquire my first IBC tonight as well for the allotment, so that's done. Went and picked that up from the school what didn't want it anymore. One of the other allotment holders come give me a hand. As they call it, the ex-military club. So I think what we'll do is we'll run the trailer full we've got up the global placeables PGA I've got on here. Try that out. That's all built for a video to be done on here. Take the fast track. It's doing it again. Stuttering. It's this tractor. I've had none of these problems since the since before the 1.5 patch. So since we put that patch on, I had issues with it. And compared to a certain other farming game that I played, this is very well optimised. Oh, I don't need any help with that one, Milton. Yeah, I've taken a look at that. Trouble is, I use Place Anywhere mod a lot when I'm doing these series to get gates and things in. You can't use Place Anywhere with global placeables. Pretty sure that might have put the canola textures back to standard on there. Be annoying if it has, because that's the awkward one to put on. So we've got a completely new BGA up here I put in for the series. Haven't even used it since I put it in up here, so I don't know if it works yet. It has, but it's not as good as the genuine one. What I've seen of it so far. I just grab a loading shovel by the looks of it. Do if we get this going up here is get a mouse up here when we bring everything up. Just pump it all in with the mouse. Let's find the right vehicle in a minute. Here's my telehandler. Take the Mani-Poo up there. And this will be the last thing we do on here tonight before we finish. Put a couple of bucketfuls in there and see what happened. Not in cab by the looks of how this is behaving, which bodes well for recording on this map. Which time, Milton? Because there's a couple of occasions he got wrapped around that tree when we done that silage multiplier for the series. Just still got to clear the rest of this grass up here from when we done it. This isn't the save game we had on the server, this is the original one. You know, if Marwell isn't going to run smoothly, I'll obviously have a problem with using Arthur's farm again. Why are there beet falling through the bottom of that? Well, this is going to be painful, isn't it? This is an elevator job, definitely. That's going to take minutes to put a bucketful in. I tried my best, 1174. Tried to make it look like it should be here naturally. Now that's annoying. Sugar beet coming through the back of the hopper. Come on, this is a mod hub mod. We shouldn't be getting that still. So we're going to need a mouse up here to load this. We're going to need a mouse down the field to load the sugar beet up down there. Obviously. So anyway, that's going to work, I think. Let's have a look what we've got. You need to put some pictures of our Milton. See if this is going to work. I should put the money back in for this. All these fields of canola to harvest down here. That'll be done in an upcoming video. It is, it's not a little field mouse, is it? You won't want this bugger chewing holes through your walls. This one run up your trouser leg either. I can remember when these things first came out, they were sort of a bit of an eye opener locally when the first one appeared. Get this right. If I get this right. Tell me I put the heap too far away. Probably. That's loading a bit quicker anyway. So you can actually load it up with the mouse quicker than you can with the shovel. It's interesting. So that'll work anyway for when we get round to doing that. Litres of sugar beet at the moment. % digestate. Right, I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight, because I've got a hungry Springer Spaniel that needs feeding. So there's a mod review video going out in the morning, another John Deere based one, but that one's got a bit of a sting in the tail tomorrow, so you have to watch to see what I mean by that. So I'll pop a link into chat for today's video. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for watching tonight. Hope you enjoyed this stream, and I will see you again in the next one. Goodbye for now.